at the
59 on our weather with meteorologist Josh Linker. Josh, how's our Wednesday shaping up?
Well, we have some fog out there this morning, Melissa, but we are going to see some sunshine in some spots. A very similar day to yesterday. Visibility at the reporting stations not horrible, but we're definitely noticing some fog out there. So if you're getting the kids ready for school, just be aware of that. And also warm temperatures. Average temperature should be in the lower 70s, so the warm weather gear will be just fine today. We do look for highs in the upper 80s for some areas. I'll be back with much more on the forecast. We'll also let you know about some rain chances coming up this weekend. That's all coming up with Weather on the 9s. But for now, let's see what's happening on the roadways this morning. And for that, we're going to send things over to Chuck Henson in the real-time traffic center. And hopefully things not too bad out there.
Well, everyone's asking about the Skyway Bridge. We'll say right out of the box.
Now, your Weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
The time is now 7:09. Good morning. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and thank you for staying with us here for your morning news. And we are looking at some foggy conditions out there this morning. This shot, by the way, was taken yesterday. Just a great looking view of the fog. This was sent in to us through the Bay News 9 Plus app from Jerry in Dunedin. Just showing the limited visibility out there yesterday. We'll have a similar scene for today. Now, not everybody along the coast had the thick fog throughout the day, and I do expect it to be that way again today. So some areas will break out into some sunshine earlier. This is not a true sea fog scenario. The water temperatures are just a little bit too warm for that. What you really need is the cold water and the warm, humid air on top of that. But the water temperatures have been creeping up over the last week or so, and that has allowed the sea fog scenario to not be the ideal sea fog scenario. But with that said, we do have limited visibility out there along the coast and inland, actually. Obviously not a sea fog thing going on over land, but we do have regular old fog causing some reduced visibility out there this morning. It is not widespread and very, very dense, but you're going to run into some problems here and there as you're heading out this morning. So as we look at the satellite imagery, I'm noticing still the low clouds overhead. They will break up today, especially inland, or at least inland first, and then we'll have the high clouds coming in that I'm noticing moving in from the west, and we'll be watching those starting to increase as the day wears on. No rain out there. Klystron 9 getting a break. We'll see a couple of showers coming in over the next few days. Very warm temperatures across the area to start. 70 in Lakeland, 68 in Brandon, Tampa 71, Lakewood Ranch 71, Bradenton at 70, Brooksville, you're at 68 degrees right now. So some fog and some clouds along the coast. Again, there will be some sunny breaks, and then sunny and warm inland with a few areas of high clouds. Temperatures range from the upper 70s along the coast to upper 80s inland. Areas of dense fog possible again tonight, muggy down to 68, and tomorrow we'll see fog and clouds and sun, a little bit of everything, and even a stray shower, the high of 82. Now, the rain chances will be going up in the coming days. I'll be back to talk more about that with the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, but for now, we'll see what's happening on the roadways this morning. And things looking better out there. We still have a little bit of fog, but it hasn't really caused too many problems like yesterday.
Yeah, it is a much more typical morning.
Now, your Weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the 9s. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we have had quite a last 24 hours with some sea fog, and it looks like it's going to continue for today. Now, there will be some breaks in this, so if you're in an area like yesterday that managed to see some sunshine even along the coast, probably be about the same for today. But if you have boating plans along the nature coast, you just want to be aware of that. So just stay in the areas where the visibility is better, because you're going to run into some spots where it is poor. So you're better off just staying close to port. West-southwest wind at 5 to 10 knots, so that's going to be light, but that's going to take that sea fog and continue to bring it in some spots for today. Really tough to pinpoint exactly where the worst locations are going to be today. Now, we still have it around Tampa Bay and the Sun Coast, the sea fog that is, west-southwest wind at 5 to 10 knots. 2-foot seas and a light chop out there on Tampa Bay. Now, over Tampa Bay yesterday, especially in the Bay and closer to, say, Hillsborough County, we didn't really have much in the way of reduced visibility. It was down a little bit, but still passable. And with the warm weather and the calm conditions out there, the boating conditions really weren't all that bad. Warm and humid weather continues. High pressure to the south of us. Now, what I'm seeing here is the low clouds overhead, but unlike yesterday, we have some high clouds streaming in from the west. So in inland spots where you had sunshine yesterday, today you'll have the sunshine, but there'll be a few high clouds passing in from time to time. A cold front to our northwest of us is going to generally get stuck just to the north. That's important to the forecast because we'll stay warm and muggy. However, there's going to be some added moisture out there, so for tomorrow and into Friday, we are going to be looking at the potential for some added moisture and a couple of showers. Over the weekend, this front will settle southward and low pressure will develop along it, and we'll have a better chance of seeing some rain and even some thunderstorms Saturday into early Sunday. Coastal clouds today, inland sunshine. Temperatures will vary quite a bit. Upper 70s near the coast to upper 80s over inland spots with that light west wind. Temperatures in your Kanabec County forecast will go with 80 at Crystal River, 84 in Brooksville. Right along the immediate coast, about 75 to 78 degrees. In Pasco County, 80 Newport Richey, 84 Wesley Chapel, Dade City at 85. Looking at Polk County now, should get up into the upper 80s like yesterday, but we'll see a few high clouds moving through from time to time. Manatee County temperatures will be at about 79 at Anna Maria, 83 for the high in Lakewood Ranch with some of that sea fog. And we'll notice some reduced visibility for a while around Pinellas County with highs around 79 to 80. And finally, in Hillsborough County, we'll get up to 82 in Tampa, 86 in Brandon and Plant City this afternoon. Your 7-day forecast is going to reveal temperatures staying in the low 80s for a couple of days. A 20% rain chance tomorrow, 40% on Friday, and then over the weekend we'll bump that up to 50% on Saturday. And early chances for showers on Sunday. It'll turn breezy and cooler. The high just 73 then, and on Monday maybe getting back to 70 with lows near 50. So quite a change. Some much cooler air coming in to start next week, but we will see drier conditions and as a result sunshine to start next week as well. That's your 7-day forecast. Here's the latest pollen forecast for the next 3 days, and it is brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. It's time now for the latest from Klystron 9.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
It is 7:29. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for your morning news. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we're still looking at some fog out there this morning in some spots. Not quite as dense as yesterday in those other locations along the coast, but still looking at some of that sea fog. Quarter-mile visibility now in Wesley Chapel, a half a mile at Inverness. Other reporting stations are doing okay. It is warm out there this morning, 72 in Tampa, 71 St. Petersburg. It is 63 at Inverness. And as I look at the satellite imagery now, and what I'm seeing is the low clouds still overhead, lots of them. And then we have some high clouds streaming in from the west. So if you're heading to the beach today, some sea fog, some low cloudiness sticking around, west wind at around 5 to 10. Visibility is not horrible. It's just not perfect out there. Water temperature 73, and the sun will set this evening at 7:40. Now, I'm going to be back with a lot more on your forecast. We do have some changes coming up over the weekend. Those details are coming up with the weather on the 9s. But in the meantime, let's see what's going on the roadways this morning. The commute not going to be as long this morning for some yesterday with the bridge opens.
Yeah, not nearly as long. Not 75 miles faster. Not the case today.
Yeah, and that's about how long it took some people to get to work yesterday, too, because of that. Now, we are looking this morning at some low clouds and fog, and we showed you some shots earlier of the Skyway, and it's just a little bit higher up, so it's not covering the road as much, so the visibility is passable there. But we do have reduced visibility across the area this morning. We are reporting a quarter-mile visibility now in Wesley Chapel, a half a mile at Inverness. The other reporting stations are doing okay, but we have bouts of low clouds and some ground fog out there. Some of it is sea fog related, and that is going to cause some issues for you. So here's our view from Madeira Beach, and what I'm seeing here is some fog and some low cloudiness, but the visibility yesterday on this shot at this time, you could barely see the waves breaking at the shoreline. So it's a little bit better today, but still reduced visibility and low clouds. This is brought to you by Innovation Cabinetry, by the way. The temperature now coming in at 71 degrees, humidity 100%, and the wind is calm. Here's our view from Tampa International Airport. Just a lot of low clouds out there. Now these inland and then across much of the area will break up and we'll get out into some sunshine. This is brought to you by Biospine, and I'm starting to even see now just a couple of little holes in those clouds, the beginnings, if you will, of the breaks in the clouds that will ultimately lead to more sunshine and pretty warm temperatures again this afternoon. 72 right now, humidity 93%, and we have a southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. So as we look around the area, we'll take a peek at Hillsborough County, and we're at 65 in Carrollwood and at Citrus Park, Thanona-Sassa. The same Lutz, you've jumped back up to 71. Tampa now, like I mentioned, at 72 degrees. And the satellite imagery here, all I'm seeing are those low clouds overhead for now, right now. But out to the west, we're watching an area of high clouds that are moving steadily across the Gulf of Mexico. So as we go through about late morning into early afternoon, just as those low clouds are breaking up, you'll start to see some of those high clouds coming in through the sky. No rain out there at the moment. Klystron 9 is taking a break today. 80 degrees by 5 o'clock, 72 at 10, and tomorrow morning will be in the upper 60s as the warmth and humidity will continue. Now, if you have travel plans, we are looking at a storm system across the Great Lakes with a lot of heavy rain and thunderstorms and snow on the northwest side now starting to change back into the wintry precipitation across parts of northern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Otherwise, things fairly quiet around the country from a traveling standpoint, and it's early, so we're not seeing any delays reported just yet. It's 49 in Chicago, Minneapolis now down to 42, but parts of northern Minnesota have dropped back down to about 32. 38 in Omaha, Rapid City at 22, and out in the northwestern United States, that's where the cool air is over the higher elevations. Over near Yellowstone, for example, temperatures have been in the single digits this morning, and some of that colder weather will just kind of hang out across the western United States. Now, we'll eventually see a change here. We'll talk about that with the 7-day forecast in 10 minutes. But first, here's another look at Klystron 9.
Now, your weather on the 9's forecast featuring Klystron 9.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us here for Weather on the 9's. I'm meteorologist Josh Linker, and we're starting out with foggy conditions again in some areas, and it's going to persist along the coast with some of those low clouds and fog that will remain in many spots for coastal locations. Inland locations will see the sun returning, and very warm conditions will be in place. And it's going to stay warm and muggy for the next couple of days, but rain chances will be coming with a weather system that will eventually cool us down. So here's the satellite imagery, and what I'm noticing is some low clouds still overhead here, but we do have the high cloudiness coming in from the west, and that'll be a bit of a change from yesterday. So the locations that break out into some sunshine, you'll get that filter down a little bit with some of those high clouds that will be coming in. As we look at our computer model here, what I'm noticing is light wind overhead with high pressure around, is some extra clouds near the coast for today. And as we go through the day and into tomorrow, we're going to look for a weak boundary to come into North Florida. That'll help to promote a couple of showers. Not a big deal for us. Just north of our area, there'll be some extra showers up around Gainesville over toward Jacksonville during the late part of the afternoon. You can see up around 5 o'clock. And then as we make our way into Friday, the next weather system will come in, and this is going to set a front up across our area, and we'll see some showers around there as well. After that, with the front nearby, that is when we're going to watch the next weather system come in, giving us a chance for some rain over the weekend. Now, as far as the fog is concerned, it's going to be around through the day along the coast. We can see that here with our fog forecaster. Now, watch what happens as we head into the afternoon and evening. Evening hours, this starts to spread back in, and we'll get the regular fog to develop overnight into tomorrow morning and then start to break up. As we get beyond tomorrow, the wind direction changes a little bit, and things will be improving from a fog standpoint as we make our way into Thursday evening. Again, still along the coast, but much better than what we have seen. And then by the time we get into Friday, we'll start to thin that out a little bit more so as some drier air, not so much dry air that'll break up the fog, but it'll kind of mix things up a little bit, and with the showers coming in, things will be looking a little bit better. Today it's going to be a warm one, 79 in St. Pete, but 88 at Winter Haven. And look out for that sea fog, and like I mentioned, inland locations where you see the sun, some of it will be filtered out a little bit with some high clouds. For boaters today, we are looking at some reduced visibility. Again, west-southwest wind at 5 to 10. So if you could find the clearer spots with the calm winds and the warm temperatures, looks pretty good. Tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day, 82 degrees with a small shower chance, a little bit bigger on Friday at 40%. And then there you see over the weekend, rain chances increase. But look at the temperatures going down by the time we get to Sunday. The high only 73. Even cooler on Monday at 70 after a morning low of 50. And it'll be chilly on Tuesday morning, too, but we do warm up nicely with sunshine at 74 by then. That's your 7-day forecast. Another check of the weather is coming up at the top of the hour, but first, here's another look at Klystron 9.